Google BeyondCorp Enterprise allows organizations to ensure that only trusted users from compliant computers and mobile devices access organizational resources. The BeyondCorp Enterprise integration with Jamf Pro enables administrators to build a compliance and security framework around user devices. My name is Corey. Let's go through the steps of integrating Google BeyondCorp and Jamf Pro. Before we begin, there are some very specific requirements in order to successfully integrate Google BeyondCorp with Jamf Pro, including a Google admin account and the proper workspace licensing on user accounts. We also need 2 smart groups for each platform we'll be integrating. These smart groups will be used to determine what computers are compliant and should have access to resources. The first smart group is our applicable group. This group should contain all of the computers or devices that need access to the organization's Google resources. For this example, I want all of the computers managed by Jamf Pro to have access. So I'm going to use the already created All Managed Clients smart group. But if your organization wants a different group of computers to receive compliance state, you can create a smart group that targets those specific computers. Next, we need a compliance group. This is a group of clients that must meet a specific criteria to be considered compliant. These requirements could be something like OS version or the presence of a certain application. For this example, I'm setting the smart group criteria to find all computers that have Jamf Protect installed, since this is a requirement for our compliance standards. If you're going to be using mobile devices, be sure to create smart groups for those as well before moving on. For a complete list of requirements, please review the General Requirements section of the Google BeyondCorp Enterprise integration documentation found in the resources. With our requirements checked and prep work done, let's go to the Google Admin Console by navigating to admin.google.com and log in with administrator credentials. Once logged in, navigate to Devices on the left. Click Mobile and Endpoints, Settings, Third-Party Integrations. Click the Edit icon in the Security and MDM Partners section, and then click Manage. Click Open Connection next to Jamf. After clicking Open Connection, a new tab opens with our customer ID. Let's click Copy next to the customer ID, close out of the tab, and head over to Jamf Pro. From the Jamf Pro dashboard, navigate to Settings, click the Global tab, and scroll down to BeyondCorp Enterprise Integration. Let's use the switch to enable the connection and then paste in our customer ID in the ID number field. Next, let's select the platforms that are being integrated. For this example, I'm integrating computers and mobile devices, so I'm selecting both checkboxes. Under each selected platform, click the Compliance Group and Applicable Group pop-up menus and select the appropriate smart group for each. Finally, let's click Save in the bottom right. We can see that our connection has been successfully verified, so now we can go back to Google Admin to configure our security settings. Let's leave the Manage Partner Connection screen and ensure that the checkbox next to Jamf has been selected to enable this partner service. Then click Save. Next, we need to enable context-aware access. This allows us to configure which apps require compliance standards to be met before they can be accessed. Navigate to Security on the left. Click Access and Data Control, and then click Context-Aware Access. We need to create a custom access level for our Jamf managed devices. So let's click Access Levels, Create Access Level. It's recommended that we give this new access level a unique name and provide a description. But for this example, I'm just going to name mine Is Jamf Managed and leave the description blank. Next, in the Conditions section, click the Advanced tab. In the Google BeyondCorp Enterprise integration documentation, Jamf provides a recommended starting condition in the Creating and Assigning a Context-Aware Policy section, so this is what I'm going to use for our example. The provided rule ignores devices that don't have a Jamf compliant state, and only allows access if a device is compliant in Jamf Pro. This is a great starting point, but feel free to customize this rule for your environment. Click Save on the bottom right. Next, click Assign Access Level. Here we have the option to select from a number of Google apps and assign specific access levels. For this example, I'm selecting Drive and Docs. Once selected, click Assign at the top and select the desired access level. We see that my previously created access level is available, so that's the one I'm selecting. After clicking Save, we see that our assigned access level is shown in the Access Levels column. Let's test our work and see how we're doing so far. First, we must register our test computer using Google Chrome to sign in to the Endpoint Verification extension, which requires a separate installation. There are several methods to manage Google Chrome and extensions as an administrator. In general, Jamf recommends using Chrome Browser Cloud Management to accomplish this, with plist deployment being a second but less preferable option. Check out Google's documentation, Chrome Browser Cloud Management, and Jamf's definitive guide to Google Chrome for the Apple Enterprise Fleet in the resources. If the computer isn't already signed into the user's Google account, they can navigate to the Endpoint Verification extension and sign in with their Google identity to register and sync their computer. With the computer registered, let's try to access Google Drive by clicking on the app. I'm presented with a warning indicating that I don't have access. Let's go back to Google Admin to find out why. Navigate to Devices, Mobile and Endpoints, Devices. Here we see a list of registered devices. When I click on my test computer and go to the Third-Party Services section, I can see that its compliance state is non-compliant. This is because my test computer does not meet my compliance criteria, which requires that Jamf Protect is installed. Through the magic of video editing, I'm going to quickly install Jamf Protect on my test computer. Now when we refresh the page and look at the computer's compliance state, we see that it's marked as compliant. This time when we try to go to Google Drive, we're able to successfully access the application. Google BeyondCorp is also available for iOS and iPadOS devices. For users that have mobile devices, registration is managed through Jamf Self-Service. The user goes to the Compliance section on the home screen and then taps Register. When the Google sign-in screen appears, they sign in with Google credentials. They then tap Continue and then Allow to complete the registration. We've successfully configured and verified compliance with Jamf Pro and Google BeyondCorp. Now, Google customers can use Jamf's Apple device management platform with Google's productivity and collaboration suite, while elevating security at the same time. If you have questions, be sure to reach out to Jamf support for further assistance. Thanks for watching.